Hi guys, Blake here with Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina. It is Sunday, January 5th of 2020. I have boated up here. I am about 100 yards or so below outlet 3, and I'm over here on the left side if you're driving up. Today I am using a Lilleys Landing black and white jig, 3/32 ounce on 4-pound test. Beautiful day outside today. It's about 58 degrees, just about too warm for this jacket, honestly. And they are still running the 3 units, and we're gonna see if we can catch a fish today. Take the control motor off anchor mode there. Jig Fest was a good time this weekend. Got to meet a lot of new people. Slow fishing this weekend. It was kind of I went out fishing on Saturday morning, and everyone I talked to had the same consensus that it was a little slow. Good time though. Lots of good food each night. And the best baits that worked this weekend were dragging the jerkbait, or back whenever we had the floodgates going, we were using those fat-free fingerling bomber crankbaits, and that's what Mike and Dave were using on their boat on Saturday and did the best on, was dragging crankbaits. And that morning I caught, I don't know, 4 or 5 on the Sculpin and Peach jig, but it was definitely a little slower conditions. Gentleman I met named DJ put me on a new method for using the jerk baits at nighttime, which I've been having a lot of fun with the last couple nights. I was up at the dam last night with them actually, and caught a 22-inch walleye using that method. What you do with that method is, instead of your traditional, retrieving the jerkbait back and jerking motions, you cast it out way out in front of you, and you just kind of reel it tight until you can feel it wobbling, and you reel it almost in slow motion back into you with occasional pauses, and you let it drift into that seam line, and you hold your rod tip up like this, and the fish will come, and as soon as it swings into that seam line, they'll come up and nail it, and it's a blast. So if anybody's into night fishing, that's a new thing you can try on the jerkbait. Nothing officially on the one cast today. But man, it's sure fun when you're reeling that thing just slow motion, and then all of a sudden they come and they smack it. They don't just bite at it. Talked to a couple guys who've been renting one of our boats for the last couple days. Today they're out right now, and I passed them just a little bit ago, and they said they are actually dragging our 1/8 ounce jigs. I think they said they were using a Sculpin and Peach with a orange head, and they said that is the most effective method they found today. So they're just casting that out and letting it drag behind the boat, which I thought that was pretty interesting. I know I've done that style by dragging the jig in with white jigs in the flood conditions, but I've never tried it with less water running, but they said that's been the most effective method for them today. I passed a couple just a little bit ago that they were fishing fly rods, and said that they were doing the best on a number 16 gray scud. Gray and olive, actually, is what they said. I haven't fished an olive scud in a while, so I might have to give that a try. I heard the other day that casting some jigs down around Monkey Island was producing some fish. I think Dwayne and Uncle Brother Dave and Mike are out. Went out this morning. I'm not sure if they're still out. Walleye fishing on Bull Shoals. So look forward to hearing how that went. And so far I haven't even got a touch yet. The last couple of days were slightly cloudy. The sun would peek through every once in a while, but a lot colder. Today it's no wind, sunshine, almost 60 degrees. But from what I can tell so far, the fishing hasn't changed much. Either that or I'm not using the right color. Right now I'm directly across from the boat ramp. I'm still kind of to the left side, but maybe more centered now. The water from here kind of starts to shallow up onto this flat right here. I'm hoping I can find a fish there. I'm looking forward to doing some night fishing with the fly rod too. Looking to do, if anybody knows what it is, it's the chuck and duck method, and it generally involves a decent amount of weight on the end of your fly rod, and you just kind of coil your line up in your hand, and then you take it back and you chuck it out there and just let the line slide through. Something I didn't think about. It's something we do in Michigan when we're salmon fishing, but Dwayne told me to give that a try out here at nighttime. Same thing, just a little bit less weight. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I'd never thought about doing it out here, but it's a good way to get flies down to the bottom at night and drag them that way. It's a nice break not having the wind. The last 4 or 5 days out on the water, there's been some pretty good wind gusts. It sure is a lot more relaxing when you don't have to worry about the wind. These fish have got me stumped again today. We'll turn the camera around here. We're gonna fish this eddy over here on this side. Last night for dinner they cooked up venison, and Dwayne made his flying fajitas. Oh, there was a bite out of Canadian goose, and there were sausages. It was good food. Once again, over here on this side towards the island, that water runs a little bit slower than the current out here where the boat is. So I'm just kind of feathering the trolling motor, keeping the boat going the same speed as that side water. That keeps your jig from pulling back that way or pulling forward. Let you get a little more time in the pocket fishing. So a second ago I was talking about that chuck and duck rig, and it's ideal for nighttime. Primarily you're using a lot of weight on the rod. We kind of set it up the way we set up the rigs to drift the jerk baits, except on the end of your fly rod. And during the daytime you have to use a lot smaller tippet. So the problem with that is you have all that weight on there and you go to set the hook and it snaps your line. At nighttime, the fish can't see as well, so you can get away with using like 2X tippet, which is, you know, roughly 10 pounds, you know, somewhere in there. And you can set the hook and keep them on there at night with that heavier line. And so that's why it's ideal for more of a nighttime rig. Not to say that you couldn't do it during the day, you just have to be really careful setting the hook. I'm really surprised I haven't even felt a nibble. Try getting a little closer to the bank here. Talked to Captain Steve yesterday, and he said that he was dragging scuds and catching fish, but they weren't. He said he didn't have a whole lot of luck up top towards the cable. He said it was primarily from Fall Creek to Short Creek, and that's where he said he caught the big variety of his fish. And they were using a gray scud as well. Oh, found one. This is that, when Ryan and I came out and did the one cast the other day. This is that same spot that we were in, and a spot where I've been finding some fish. Oh yeah, he's pretty. Got some shoulders on him, real chunky. But anyway, yeah, so this little spot towards the end of the island here, it's been producing fish. Oh, there's another bite. one. So once again, this little slough right here across from Lookout Point Island is really got a little bit of collection of fish here, a couple in the lake at least. He does not like it. Got some length to him there. Try a couple more casts and I gotta get back to the dock. You know, I haven't in a while. I haven't stopped in the eddy behind Lookout Point Island, but I bet that'd be a good spot right now, especially with the 3 units of water running. I'm sure some of them are swimming up in that eddy to take a break from the current. You can maybe get in there with a 16th ounce jig or maybe even a 1/32. Might find some fish. If anybody's out here, try it and let me know how it goes. Right now I'm fishing the eddy water that comes around the edge of Point Royale. I had a little bit of luck down here at the bottom side of it a couple days ago on a fly rod. I feel like I said a couple more casts, like 5 casts ago. Not as many boats out on the water today. This weekend there's quite a few boats on the water. Okay, all right. Seriously though, this time is the last cast. All right.